It happened to me back in late November of 2024. When I was 18, I was at the Walden Gallery Mall in Buffalo just doing early Christmas shopping for my family. I like to get it done before the rush, and there is something about that mall during the holidays with all those twinkling lights and holiday vibes. It makes even regular shopping feel special. I found a bench near that tall tree they put up every year, the one that stands in the middle of the mall like some kind of Christmas monument. Then this guy sat down beside me. He cracked a joke first. I laughed along. He looked harmless enough, maybe 62 or so. Thin as hell, with that kind of face you'd imagine on an old Santa. He said I looked like his daughter, showed me a picture on his phone. I didn't see any resemblance at all, not even close, honestly. Eventually, I figured it was time to go. Got up slightly awkwardly and said goodbye, didn't look back. I walked away. I don't like awkwardness, not one bit. She turned right onto Cold, the sack, that weird circular patch of grass with trees in the middle. A message popped up on her phone. AirTag found moving with you. She panicked. Instead of pulling into the driveway, she looped back down the street, just in case someone was tracking her. She figured out how to make the AirTag beep, half expecting it to come from outside the car, but then she heard a faint sound coming from one of her shopping bags. She dug through her bag, pulled out an AirTag. Hands trembling like crazy, she tossed it out the window, floored it back toward home. She drove into the driveway, ran inside, opened the garage door to hide the car, but her mom's car was already parked there, no choice but to leave it outside. She locked the front door, called Cody just to be safe. Told him what happened. His tone wasn't joking. Sounded a little drunk too. She went into the living room, tried to distract herself with TV, but that's when she heard the doorbell. Instantly sickened. That sound, like it was in her head before it even rang. 3 loud knocks. She stopped dead when she heard a muffled voice say, "Hey, actually, I think you might have my AirTag." It hit her, that guy from the mall. He'd probably thrown his tag into one of her bags on purpose to follow her home. She called Cody again. He thought she was joking at first, but when he heard she meant business, said he was on his way home. She peered back through the glass, couldn't see him anymore. Back in living room, turned on TV to drown out silence, but then movement in her peripheral vision. She looked over, nothing there. Convinced herself he'd gone. For a minute or two, she convinced herself that was it. Then, the same voice again. Outside, through the window. I love it when they play dumb. I turned around. He was right there, face pressed against the glass. Smiled when he saw me notice him. That old man again. I called Cody again, yelled into the phone. The guy S at the window, he said he was almost home, told me to call 911. So I did. He just stood there grinning, like he'd won. Couldn't take it anymore. Left the living room, headed for my office. No windows, safe space. Minutes later, Cody pulled into the driveway, ran inside, but when we looked back at the window, he was gone. The cop who came didn't find anything. No footprints, nothing. Didn't know much about AirTags either. Gave me a police report number and said I should contact Apple to start tracking the owner. Next day, I tried that, only to realize it would be way more complicated than expected. After 2 weeks of silence, lost interest. Maybe he saw Cody and the cops come. Bailed out, maybe not. But honestly, every time I think about those photos on his phone, that girl, I wonder if she was just another girl he'd taken off social media. Or worse, maybe she wasn't a random girl at all. That experience changed me, for the worst. Not the same person anymore. Not ever again, maybe. I'm Claire. It didn't happen so long ago that I forgot, but not recently either. Moved to a new city for a work promotion. Just your average mid-sized town. A Tuesday evening when the first weird thing happened, driving home from work, 15-minute ride, listening to a podcast, phone buzzes, AirTag found, moving with you. At first, I thought it was a prank. Maybe someone dropped their keys in the parking lot, or one of my friends playing around. She checked everywhere. Trunk, under the seats, empty. No AirTag, but she knew what was happening. She realized someone had planted a tracking device, not just to follow her movements, but to know exactly where she lived. The worst part, the stalker knew not just her route home, but also her apartment address. She tried to remain composed as she approached her home, the last place anyone should know she was heading. She had no option but to bring the stalker closer into her own living space. Even after arriving, she couldn't find the device, and it was still active. She thought logically, if no device or evidence existed, what could authorities do? She hesitated, fearing the police wouldn't help unless there was proof. She told herself she had decent security. Perhaps it was enough to keep her safe. She couldn't change what was already done, but she could try to ignore it. The next day, she tried to act normal, even if her mind still raced with fear. Another alert popped up. She brushed it off, but the thought wouldn't leave her. That night, she couldn't escape thoughts of the tracking device. It haunted her. She spent hours searching until her finger brushed against something solid. She pulled out the battery, not wanting to destroy evidence, but needing to deactivate its power. Her hands shook violently. She feared what this device could still do. She felt exposed, watched constantly by someone who knew her routine better than anyone else. She wondered, who would go to such lengths to track her? She couldn't believe it. No one seemed capable of such a cruel act. That night, she returned home late, only to find her apartment door already wide open. She ran straight back to her vehicle, calling the police as she dialed. The police checked everything. No fingerprints, no signs of forced entry. She showed them proof, every notification, every moment she'd felt watched. The officer asked her, had anyone in her life caused such a threat? She didn't know anyone who could do this. The fear felt like a living nightmare. In time, things began to settle, but the fear never fully left her. She moved, hoping for safety, but the haunting never stopped. The break-in was subtle, no violence, just an unlocked door with a key she didn't have. Years later, she still wonders how the intruder got in, without force, without sound. She chooses anonymity. The trauma is too personal, the stakes too high. Her world once felt safe. Now even the suburbs feel like traps. The aftermath spiraled into legal battles. She wondered if her entire life was collapsing. Paranoia consumed her. Even in silence, she felt watched. The unraveling began after the breakup. She thought she was free. The breakup wasn't joyful. Devon's psychosis left Claire feeling relieved, even if a little hollow. Enter Xenon, the eccentric millionaire, whose parties would soon become her undoing. Xenon's mansion was a stage for chaos, where connections were made and secrets buried. Taylor appeared among the familiar faces, but her behavior would soon betray everything. Taylor's approach was sudden and aggressive, a move that surprised Claire despite prior rumors. Suspicion gave way to desire, and Claire let herself be swept away. The drinks loosened her resolve. Taylor's charm was irresistible. She never realized Taylor's true intentions until it was too late. The theft wasn't just a loss, it was the beginning of her unraveling. She was all charm and confidence, the kind of girl who makes you feel like she's got your number. She didn't just flirt, she cornered him, pretending it was innocent fun. She took it without a word, the kind of theft that feels like a joke. She woke up with a hollow ache, not just from the hangover, but from realizing someone had stolen her world. The AirTag showed up, her only hope. But she didn't know yet it was just beginning. She marched into the gym like a warrior, unaware someone was already watching. The tag vanished, like someone had turned it off before she even got there. She scanned every inch, but no one looked back. The tag went offline once more. Not by accident, someone was controlling it. She ran, but the feeling never left. Someone always seemed to be just behind. Claire begins to suspect something darker is happening after her wallet vanishes. She discovers her wallet's tracking is being manipulated, likely by Taylor. Taylor's teasing behavior drives Claire mad as she tries to regain control. Her exhaustion grows as she struggles to balance work with her growing paranoia. For a brief moment, Claire feels safe as her AirTag goes dark. Determined not to be controlled, Claire tries to reclaim her independence. Her attempt to move forward is shattered by a terrifying new threat. A sudden intrusion breaks her peace, sending her into panic. She experiences a paralyzing fear she hasn't known in years. Desperate to protect herself, Claire locks her door and calls for help. She hears intruders below, ready to face them head on without a weapon. The intruder vanishes just as help arrives, leaving her feeling abandoned. The police list her stolen belongings, but she doesn't connect it to the AirTag yet. She rationalizes her silence, believing she's being too paranoid. She continues checking her AirTag, unaware of impending danger. The AirTag suddenly reactivates, luring her back into danger. Her attempt at invisibility fails. The tracker goes dark once more. Her anger explodes. She accuses everyone around her, escalating the chaos. Her accusations backfire. She's kicked out, humiliated. She reflects on her humiliation. Another betrayal by the invisible stalker. She vows to stop checking, hoping to break free from the stalker's control. Her peace is shattered. The stalker's final move looms, setting up the climax. She begins recounting the moment her life unraveled. A knock on the door, police arriving with an arrest warrant. The police came to arrest her, suspicion of stalking, despite no prior warning or evidence she knew about. They searched her house without consent, searching specifically for a journal she never wrote. Before she knew it, she was already behind bars, handcuffed and unaware of what awaited her. The following months were a living nightmare. She felt trapped and alone. Devon had secretly gathered overwhelming evidence, photos, texts, proof she claimed was irrefutable. The most cruel part, Devon's messages, claiming Claire had driven her to mental collapse. The journal, supposedly full of Claire's own words describing Devon's daily torment, shocked her even more. No lawyer could save her. Her guilt was absolute in Devon's eyes. Claire felt like the worst person alive, until something unexpected happened. The key to unraveling Devon's web, her boyfriend, Xenon, who'd been helping her track Claire. The AirTag came from Taylor, who'd stolen Claire's wallet, unknowingly aiding Devon's surveillance. I was caught on camera, not by accident. He agreed at first, thought it was funny. Texts between him and Devon revealed the change. He began doubting his role when she spoke of planting evidence. Texts showed how she did it, copying my keys during our relationship, unnoticed by me. Under pressure, he confessed she had broken into my home herself, stealing my laptop, knowing my password. Her plan: use the stolen laptop to send messages, make it look like I deleted them, making her story seem legitimate. Everything was dismissed, justice served, but I didn't feel any relief. Could write pages about the aftermath, family alienating me, friends turning away, or why my ex went to those lengths. I wonder why she went that far, and what tricks she pulled during our relationship. The worst part, the idea that someone could manipulate technology and the legal system to destroy your life and get away with it. If he hadn't developed a conscience, I'd never have known. My life could have been destroyed completely.